Hey guys, Jeff Pellizzaro here at 18 Strong, and today I want to talk to you about something that many of my clients have asked about, many listeners have asked about, and that's after playing a round of golf, many golfers notice that they tend to cramp up in the middle of the night or later on in the day. And specifically, we're going to talk about cramping in the calf muscle. So one of the big reasons that the cramping happens is, first of all, you're fatiguing your body out when you're walking. You're up and down these different hills. Even if you're riding in a cart, often you're walking on these different terrains. So many times your calves, your feet, your ankles just aren't prepared and ready for the terrain that you're walking, or they don't have the strength or endurance to handle that. So what ends up happening is they end up cramping up later on in the day. Part of that can be due to dehydration, especially if it's really hot outside. So we're going to talk about that at the end as well. But a couple things physically that you can do if you notice that cramping has become a big issue for you is first get them a little bit stronger. And one of the best ways to do that is in your workout routines or even on kind of a daily basis, working on stretching and strengthening the calf muscles. And what I'm going to show you here is really easy to do on any step in your house or off the front porch or wherever. And that's just, first of all, let's do a little stretch where you're just toes on the step and let your heels drop all the way down as far as you can go. I like to do this in the morning just as kind of a nice, good stretch. Whenever we sleep, we tend to sleep with our toes kind of pointed away from us, which automatically kind of tightens up the calf, tightens up the Achilles, and even the bottom of the foot. So in the morning, after you're a little bit warmed up or you've been walking around a little bit, just to get a nice easy stretch off the edge of the step really feels good, but it's also going to help relieve some of that cramping in the middle of the night because now you're teaching your muscles how to relax and how to stretch out a little bit. So doing one of these in the morning, 1 minute to 2 minutes is actually really, really good, would be great. But then what you can also do during your strength training, and usually we would do this at the end of like a weight training session or fitness session, is add in maybe 3 sets of 10 to 15 heel raises or calf raises where you're just going all the way up. I want you to give a little pause at the top and give a big squeeze in the calves, and then again come down and feel that little stretch at the bottom. It's really important that you not only have good calf strength, but also that your ankles have this ability to perform this motion in your golf swing, and if you're doing any kind of squats or any kind of exercise like that, if you don't have this ankle motion, that's going to hinder your ability to get in those positions properly. So again, just doing some calf raises on a regular basis, a couple times a week maybe, would be great. You might notice, if you haven't done those in a long time, you might notice that your calves get really sore the next day after you do those the first time. So just be aware of that, but that means that you strengthen something that needs to be strengthened, and that will get easier as you go. Now, one of the best things that you can do for the cramping is to just give yourself almost like a self-massage. And you can do that with a foam roller. I've got my rad roller, the Helix. You can use any foam roller. And what you're going to do here is basically kind of flush the tissue a little bit. So just like if you went to get a massage and they worked on all that muscle tissue down here, you can use this as kind of the homemade version of a massage, just going up and down, which is going to help kind of push some of the fluid in and out of the muscle tissue, which is good for it to just heal anything that needs to be healed and just to keep the blood flow going in there. But you're also going to find some tender spots in there, and I want you to kind of work on those tender spots a little bit. This is great to do before you go play, before you work out, and then also after you play. It's really good to help, again, flush the tissue in the calves. It's going to feel good and bad at the same time. There's kind of a love-hate relationship with the foam roller. And then, of course, go ahead and do the other side as well. And I like to go all the way down to the Achilles as well as all the way up to almost behind the knee. That way you're hitting all of that tissue and really helping to keep it as pliable as possible. And that's going to help with that cramping a little bit as well. And then lastly, another little known trick is to take a small ball, I've got the rad round here. You could use a lacrosse ball, is a little bigger than this, but you can use that. You could use a golf ball, but that's really hard, so it's a lot more uncomfortable. But what I'm going to do here is just take that ball, and this is a rubber ball, so it's got a little bit of give to it, and I'm going to put it on the bottom of my foot here and just kind of roll around. And again, you're going to feel some tender spots there. I'm going to roll it all the way into my arch, all the way back down to my heel. I could even lay on this and put this on my calf as well, but I especially love doing this on the foot. Now you're probably wondering, if it's my calves that are cramping, why am I rolling my foot? Well, as we walk, the muscles in our feet need to work in order for our ankles to work properly, in order for our calves to work properly. If we have dysfunction at our foot, we're going to put extra strain on our calf muscles, our Achilles, and that's going to make it harder for our bodies to adapt to those terrains we talked about. Going to put more stress on your calves, maybe a little bit more likelihood that you're going to be cramping up. So this is, again, a great one to just really get those muscles awake, first of all. If you've never done this, this is going to be kind of a life-changing moment, hopefully. This is one of my favorite things to do. And it's really going to wake up the feet and get those muscles working. You're going to feel them a little bit differently after you take that ball out of there. So, all right, that's a couple things that you can do if you have any cramping in your calves. We'll address some of the hamstring cramping issues in another video in the future. If you're enjoying these videos, if you find them helpful, subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Share them with your friends. Share them with all your golfing buddies. We'd love to continue to pass along the education that we've learned here at 18 Strong to you as the golfer. Thanks for joining us. Train hard, practice smart, and play better golf.